Happy New Year, guys! Married with Clicks is back in action. As usual, we are always, of course, bringing the tournament updates on a weekly basis. But we are also adding reports on new ROCs that are coming up, or ROC tournaments, as some people like to call them. So we will be giving you updates on that as well. We do have a special announcement for those of you in the GTA who aren't part of the GTA Facebook group. Some stuff has come to light involving the Windsor ROC, which is kind of exciting for us in the Greater Toronto area, and some people outside of the Greater Toronto area are going to be hearing some news about this as well. But let's get into it. First off, I want to start off with a new venue, which actually managed to get their events out before I got a chance to film this, so I'm kind of excited to add a venue to the show already. And that is the Comic Connection at 895 King Street West in Hamilton. At 6:30 p.m., they are having a 500-point 4-action Golden Age No Restrictions tournament. And they will be having, in addition to the regular prizing, first place is going to be receiving an additional War of Light booster as a prize. Pretty awesome, as long as minimum 4 people show up. Entry fee is $4.99, and participants who pay their entry fee will be getting $3 off of single Heroclix item valued at $9.99 plus tax or more, once per player per event. So, moving on. That's, once again, 895 King Street West, the Comic Connection. Further down the street, at 844 King Street West, Conspiracy Comics is also going to be holding an event. It's called Do You Feel Special, Punk? Do you? 500-point Modern Age Tournament. No resources allowed, but your force must include a special object or a relic. The usual rules: if minimum 4 players attend, there's going to be a fee and prizes. If 3 or less attend, then no prizing, no fee, casual night. The prize this week is, for first place and second place and fellowship, the zombie team base. Those things are really cool, especially if you have 3 or more zombies to throw on it. Of course, the zombies being pretty difficult to get. That said, they will also be handing out to first to 9th place the Cosmic Control Rod, and first to 10th place are going to be getting Terrigen Crystals. But, as a note, the Terrigen Crystals and Cosmic Control Rods will be handed out before the tournament. For those of you who don't actually happen to have a relic to bring to this tournament, you have that chance to add those to your team instead of anything else. So once again, that's 844 King Street West, Conspiracy Comics. Must have a relic tournament. Moving on, nothing going on in Comic Book Addiction this week on Monday. This week, Tuesday, 401 Games is back in action. This week, they're calling it Flash Week 3 500-point Golden Age Tournament. I love 401 Games. They're so simple. 500 points, Golden Age, go. So we move now on to Thursday. Thursday at Black Knight Games, we have a 600-point Modern Age Tournament. At least one character must have a predominantly white costume. I believe this is the Winter Wonderland type name. I forgot to copy-paste the name into the tournament, so I feel a little silly about that. The prices, of course, $5 for Stronghold members, $6 for non-Stronghold members. Stronghold members at the Black Knight Games do get discounts on Heroclix tournaments, as well as other advantages, and including collecting money towards later purchases. So, if you happen to go to Black Knight Games regularly, or want to get into Black Knight Games regularly, it is a good investment at $25 a year. So, that said, we move now to Saturday, 2 p.m., the Comic Warehouse at 20 Strathern Avenue in Brampton. We have the Justice League is recruiting. The League's recruiting. Teams must be from DC figures only, and at least half of your 600-point Modern Age team must have a Justice League keyword. So that's Justice League of America, Justice League America, JLA, Justice League International, Justice League Europe, etc., etc. So the word Justice League has to be in keywords in there, or JL has to be as part of your keywords too. They're just trying to cover all the bases, because half of your team has to be some form of Justice League, and the other half can be whatever you want. Now, if you want it to be all Justice League, equally acceptable. So once again, 600 points Modern for that tournament. And that is where we move on to Sunday at 12:30 p.m. the question mark of Two Worlds. Free entry, and this is at Comic Book Addiction, 1022 Brock Street West, or Brock Street South, Whitby, Ontario. Sunday at 12:30 p.m. is the question mark of Two Worlds. Free entry, 400-point constructed. Their normal Highlander rule is semi-suspended for this scenario. Your team must include exactly 2 different versions of the same character. 2 Flashes, 2 Batmans, 2 Supermans. You kind of see what's going on here. They may have the same secret identity, but they must be different collector numbers on the dial. So like you can have Jay Garrick and Barry Allen, and Wally West and Barry Allen, or... You get what I'm getting at, right? Cool. Everything else on your team is subject to the normal Highlander rule that they have. For those of you unfamiliar with the generally accepted Highlander rule, that is, you're allowed 1 of each figure. Doesn't matter where the set's from. So you can try to be as finicky as you want, but 1 Scarlet Witch, you can't have the Scarlet Witch from the Fast Forces and the Scarlet Witch from the starter set. You got to have one or the other. Just so people get an understanding of what the generally accepted Highlander rule is. And of course, there's going to be prizes for winning and fellowship on that one. So that brings us to the head of the Greater Toronto Area Heroclix tournaments. And now for our new second half of the show, we're going to be talking ROC events. More importantly, what's coming up in the month, what's happened recently. So my goal is, of course, to get to the tournament organizers and find out who won so that I can report on it here as well. So, starting off, we have on January 10th, so that's actually this coming weekend, for those of you in California planning to be in the California area or just happen to live close enough to California and have the ability to go up, I'm gone, to Costa Mesa, California. Majestics is having their regional tournament. So now, for those of you unfamiliar with the structure of the regionals versus super qualifiers, regionals are like really big super qualifiers. So just as a quick idea, the regional prize kit consists of 2 Zombie Galactus, a Black Lantern Anti-Monitor, Impossible Man, Resurrection Man, 1 each of the 6 regular 2014 Con Ellies, so that's World's Finest, Hulk and Red She-Hulk, Dupe, Amazo, Whiplash, and I can't remember, Resurrection Man, and Jonah Hex, and I believe that's all of them. Amber in the background is giving me a thumbs up. She's gonna help me. Worst director ever. As well, in this case, that's a regular prize kit. And then, of course, Patrick, being as awesome as he is, has managed to add in some more figures, some holiday figures, caught in your store stuff, extra Colossals, including Shuma Garath and Giant Man. And of course, he's got a trophy, sealed War of Light bricks. Wow, white, black. There's a lot of prizes. Holy moly, there's a lot of prizes for this. Yeah. So if you're interested, that's one of the bigger events. There are 2 more super qualifiers occurring in January as well. We do have Space Cadets Collections in Oak Ridge, Texas. They're running theirs, and they're running theirs, of course, with the regular kit. So there's going to be a con exclusive, one of the special ROC maps. Points towards getting into Dragon Con, of course. Something I forgot to mention for Majestics. Of course, there's going to be points towards Dragon Con. Or not Dragon Con, but wherever they decide to hold the tournament. I know they're holding it in October. I don't know all the details on it just yet. And of course, hats, tokens, points for all the top 32. So that one is January 17th, the week after the Costa Mesa ROC from Majestics. And then we move on to January 24th. Two-Headed Games in Highland Heights, Kentucky is also holding a super qualifier. So this is a big month. 2 super qualifiers and a regionals are being held this month. Of course, the prize support will be provided as the ROC prize kit. And of course, all of these events are pre-April. So when you talk about the ROC pre-April events, this is 300-point, modern age, no tactics, and no figure bigger than a peanut base, as well as no entity possession. They had to make sure that this was all covered in the basics, because the watch list hasn't occurred yet, and I have a distinct feeling, and I think the ROC is aware of, possibly thinking the same thing, is that entity possession could end up being a tactic very soon. It's all speculation, of course. And as a special extra announcement on top of all of this, we in the GTA are familiar with the fact that Windsor is having one of the ROC events, the Super Qualifiers of our own. But to top this off, I know Comic Warehouse in Brampton has agreed to it, and I know Black Knight Games in Hamilton has agreed to have qualifiers for the Super Qualifiers. So they're going to have our own tournament, the Win-A-Map ROC tournaments, but in addition to the Win-A-Map first place prize, first place will also be getting free entry into the Super Qualifier in Windsor. These events are most likely to be held in February. No firm date is yet set, and I'm going to tell you now that the Comic Book Warehouse will be following the standard format of the ROC Majors, which is, of course, 300-point, modern age, no tactics, nothing bigger than a peanut base, no entity possession. I, of course, don't speak for the other events. It's up to them. But, guys, in the GTA, if you're running a tournament and your store has received the email from Dan, talk to them about it, see if they're interested, and let's get this show on the road. Let's make the road to the ROC Windsor a little bit more exciting, and possibly add some more of the ROC Super Qualifiers to the Greater Toronto area / Ontario area, and we're really hoping to do that. That said, that's this week in Heroclix tournaments and in local and not so local news. I want to hear more from anybody running ROC tournaments or ROC related tournaments. In the meantime, contact us at marriedwithclicks@gmail.com. Thank you very much, guys, and see you guys next week.